This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. Elon Musk announced a lot of changes to Twitter this week, but he still hasn't integrated my suggestion. I keep telling him to institute a golden check mark if he walked Bob Dylan to the stage in 1966. Who are you, Elon? Our IP Livecast starts now.
Twitter? Well, welcome to all of our Twitter listeners, all of our Facebook viewers, our YouTube viewers, everyone on Twitch. It's RIP Livecast, episode 695. Rob here with Sid and Darren.
Hey, the Livecast universe.
Livecast Galaxy.
I'd say.
Livecast Nation.
Wait, you're going down in size?
Livecast Town.
Yeah. Livecast.
Livecast Business Improvement District.
Livecast Closet. We're gonna be at eventually.
Well, Rob
Well,
left
I've
that.
already left the closet. Here I am, world. Hello.
Hello, Livecast Incorporated Township.
Livecast kibbutz. Is that a thing?
That was when Noah was on.
Yeah. She's actually on the Livecast kibbutz now.
We're gonna have Noah back on in a few weeks. Actually, I've been texting with her.
Oh.
We're tentatively having her back for Livecast 700.
Are we in negotiations with anyone else?
There might be a few more surprises. We'll see what's up.
Can't wait.
I want to ask the others a little closer to the date because we're still, I guess, 5 weeks out or so.
Oh, I thought you meant you wanted to, when you were asking them, you wanted to be closer to them, to their
Oh,
face.
physically? No, I
Yes.
don't want to get anywhere near them.
I understand. COVID is still around.
It's true. And they smell.
Oh,
Oh.
don't say that about Dave Hill. Oops. Did I have to- That's not a spoiler. I don't know that. I have no idea. Bob might be working on that, but I would have just guessed it.
I wasn't, but that's a good suggestion. I should hit him up. I've been wanting to hit him up anyway. Welcome to the Livecast. Of course, you can always chat live. We are live Saturdays, noon-ish Eastern, noon-ish, a little after noon.
Yes.
And you could chat with us on Twitch and on YouTube. And, if you listen to the archives or watch the archives on YouTube, you can always hit us up, riplivecast@gmail.com with a voice memo or just feedback or thoughts or questions, whatever you want. Because I feel like you know us a lot better than we know you. And that's kind of scary to me sometimes to think about.
I would like to say, before we get into any of our topics today, that I have, as I mentioned, a college class that I'm in, and there is a WhatsApp that we have for the class, all the members of the class, so we can collaborate on things. And I played our bit of Andre the Giant doing puppetry with his penis,
Oh no.
and it was a big hit.
Wow, how did that come up?
So it goes off the rails sometimes. We talk about other things, the movies we've seen or whatever, and it just happened to come up. I just said, "Oh, here's." I mentioned about I mentioned being on a show. That's also I gave it's just like an example of something that we talk about.
Are your classmates all watching live right now? Do you want to say hi to them?
They may. I don't know. I doubt it. But hello, if you're listening. No one really expressed, "Hey, I got to listen to this now," but.
They just didn't want to fanboy out, but privately they were very excited.
It's certainly possible.
Well, if you're one of Darren's classmates, email us, riplivecast@gmail.com. Send us an anonymous tip on what he's like in the WhatsApp.
I'm much more interesting in the actual class than in the WhatsApp.
No accidental dick pics?
No. Very careful.
No tube in it during the class? Because
No
the class
tube.
it's a virtual class, right? You're all on
Correct.
Zoom?
Yes, the Zoom class.
Mm-hmm. Now, does everyone leave their camera on? I might have asked this already.
No, hardly anybody. A few of them do. It's probably, well, this happens to be a small class. There's about 12 people in this class. So I would say 4 or 5 of them have their camera on the whole time, and the rest don't. But that's really atypical of the classes I've been in. So I've been doing this since COVID happened. So 3 years, almost 3 years, and almost everybody leaves their camera off all the time.
Do you leave your camera off?
I leave it on all the time. I'm like one of the very few people that does that because I'm used to it. I think these are just like mostly early 20s people that don't. They're kind of like they just want to go to school and keep their head down. Like I have a podcast every week with my camera on it.
But doesn't everyone in their early 20s have a podcast or a YouTube show or a TikTok that's thriving?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe they're working on their TikTok while the class is going on. That's why the camera's off.
Good point, Rob. No, I think that's, I mean, it seems like that because TikToks are ubiquitous, but I think most people are just like, they just want to watch their anime and like be left alone, you know? They're very insecure. And like the teacher they'll sometimes like chide them for not like, they always have the same speech. It's like, I can't make you put the camera on because it's the law, but I really strongly encourage you because like they're used to teaching in a lecture hall or something. And they're not used to this. And like, I don't know anyone's actually listening to me. They could be snoozing at their desk.
Yeah. You don't see people's responses to your quips.
Yes, exactly.
There needs to be like a filter where you could have the camera on, but you appear as like a cartoon. Like maybe like it turns you into like a Simpsons animation or something.
They have that on Apple FaceTime actually. The like you can make a like an emoji of yourself and it's just like it takes over your face and it recognizes your expressions and will like translate them.
See, I feel like that's the perfect like compromise because then it's not nobody's actually seeing you. Like you're not going to be able to recognize somebody on the street based on their like emoji avatar or whatever, but it's still something that's alive and moving. So the teacher sees that you're there. They don't actually see what you look like, but it's a representation. So I feel like that would be the compromise move, but that probably you'd have to like pay for like the deluxe version or something. And nobody's going to want to do that.
Listen, they don't even want to pay for the course materials because a lot of this is watching movies and it'll be like almost they're fairly new movies. And it's like, it's $3.99 on Apple TV or whatever, you know? And they're like, oh, come on. Like
cheaper than a textbook.
Of course. It's there's no textbook.
But really though, I mean, if you take a step back, both things are kind of like you're already paying for the class. You shouldn't have to pay for anything above it.
I completely agree, Rob. I completely agree. It should be even if it costs $3.99 on Apple TV, it should be made usable for academic purposes. Like there should be an exception, but nope. My school is very cheap.
Well, you get the good deal on the tuition. You gotta. It's like getting those good like the Spirit Airlines. Oh, it's a cheap flight, but you don't get anything in addition to it.
Well, the school is very good. Like
it's more of a JetBlue. It's more of a JetBlue.
Yeah,
it's just the accoutrements are not very involved or generous. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like I was always blown away when you would hear about these bigger institutions that with incoming freshmen, they get a free laptop, like usually a free like MacBook or whatever. And I'm just like, what the fuck? But then you realize the laptop costs what? $2,000, maybe $3,000 the most. Like if it's like a, just decked out.
That's probably
and tuition for these schools costs like $50,000 a year. So it's like so over 4 years, that's $200,000. So that's like 1% of the tuition they're giving back to you in the form of a laptop.
That's like you buy a pair of headphones and they give you a shopping bag, basically.
Yes, exactly. That's a great analogy. Look, they give you a fancy reusable shopping bag, like a reusable tote for your $500 headphones.
Exactly.
That's the equivalent. I think most higher institution learning is bullshit. Like I will say, like I think city universities, I think that they're fine. Like if they're not shithole, like Brooklyn College, great education, cheap, whatever, and all that. But otherwise, like I don't see the point in going to one of these,
like Harvard. You mean?
Yeah, I mean, if your family can afford it,
It's
Sure.
entirely like wearing name brand jeans. That's the benefit.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is I don't see the point in going into lifelong debt to
Yeah,
go to these schools when
for
you can
sure.
go to a school for 10% of the cost. It might you know what it is actually, like as I'm saying this, like I'm trying to see what a elitist snob would respond. No, what what a counterpoint would be, and it would be like what you're really paying for beyond the name brand jeans is access to other rich people and other people in this. You're paying for the networking essentially.
Mhm.
You're paying for the professors and who they know and who they can recommend you to, and also the networking among classmates, because eventually these people will go on to work at places that you want to work, and they'll remember that you weren't a piece of shit or that you were a piece of shit
Yeah, but
and
the
We
bring
need
you
that.
on.
We need that. No, that was what I meant by name brand jeans. That was like shorthand for I went to this school. Like, you need me. Like, that's it. Doesn't really add anything to your education, but it adds something to your resume.
yeah. But yeah, I was never particularly concerned with that myself. Darren, T-Tam has a question for you in the chat. Wants to know if you've watched the Weird Al movie yet. You're muted.
The answer is no. I haven't watched it yet. We are going to watch it, I think, on our Patreon, correct?
We're going to review it. We're going to
Review
watch
it.
it on our own independent study time, and then we will get together and talk about how amazing it is. I've already had one friend reach out to me and say, Sid, you have to watch this movie. It's so fucking good. So
Really? Do you trust
Yeah.
that? Is
Yeah.
that someone you trust about?
It is a friend who likes likes more things than I like.
Oh.
But I for sure believe the praise.
I've seen only good reviews of the
Yeah.
movie, and in fact, like certain people who I follow, who I'm not going to say like, oh, I follow their word religiously, but I will say they're pretty cranky with their reviews. I've seen even like cranky people be like, oh, this is very funny and good. So
yeah, I'm excited. In the coming days, I feel like we will all have seen it.
I feel like my input might be different from the two of yours, because I'm like a Weird Al acolyte.
Yes.
So I might be looking at different things than, but I still think I'll be capable of enjoying it just as a piece of art. But I feel like I'm going to, like, I might be picking it apart for things other people don't care about, is what I'm trying to say.
The thing with this though is I don't think it's like supposed to be like a true, like this is his actual story. It's supposed to be like sort of absurdist.
I know, but
Yeah.
I could still envision, and I'm not prejudging it at all, but I could envision myself being annoyed by certain things in it, even though it's a parody, like even though it's Naked Gun style. So I'll see. I will see, but I'm gonna go into it. I'm expecting it to be good. Let's put it that way.
Same.
I'm setting my bar high. I'm not afraid to do that because Weird Al oversaw the project, and
he co-wrote it, right?
Yeah, that I didn't know.
I
just
so.
thought, but oh well, in that case, I'd see the bar is even higher because I trust him. I feel like the incidents or the times in history where he's done something shitty, although they are there, are very low. So
yeah, on the IMDb it says him and the director Eric Appel co-wrote the movie.
Okay,
what did Eric Appel do? What else did he do?
Mostly TV. He did Brooklyn. He's directed Brooklyn Nine-Nine episodes, New Girl.
I see.
Yeah.
T-Tam says he puts it up there with Walk Hard and Popstar. Two very good music parodies.
I loved Walk Hard. Didn't like Popstar all that much, but I
liked Popstar more than I thought I would.
Okay. Yeah, I went in with very low expectations and it far exceeded it. But I won't say it's. I liked Walk Hard more than I liked Popstar.
That's a classic for me.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years.
It's really up there. Very, very quotable. Very iconic scenes.
Great soundtrack.
Best scene about marijuana in a movie, maybe. At least in the last 20 years. No, the one where Dewey walks into the room where he sees the rest of his band smoking weed for the first time. And he's like, oh, it makes you feel great. Oh, is it addictive? No, but you don't want this. And then he's saying like all the great things about it.
Meadows? Was that the one?
Yeah, Tim Meadows. Yeah. But then, of course, they escalate the joke because then the next time he walks in the room, they're doing cocaine or heron
Yeah,
or
that's right.
whatever they do.
I think it was
And
heroin.
those are not fresh drugs.
Oh, well, they should have got some fresh ones. Then it would be okay.
Yeah, maybe then it would have been all right. They wouldn't have gotten as addicted if it was fresh heroin.
Yeah, you need it when it's still warm from the oven. It's the good stuff.
Freshly baked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to talk about what was going on Twitter this week, because for me, Twitter is my biggest online addiction. I spend probably 3 hours a day on it. I'm not exaggerating. Probably more. And this week, Elon Musk, it was his first full week in control. I believe last Friday might have been the day when he took control of the company. I think we discussed this on the show. He walked into the offices with holding a sink, barely clinging onto the sink, and said, "Let that sink in."
So fucking corny.
Which
Oh my
just
god.
it's really a shame that the world's biggest billionaire is the world's worst social media poster. He's so bad at posting. Like, his jokes, his sense of humor is like, it's stuck in like 2005. Like, he is the epitome of a Michael Scott meme. You know?
Fair.
I agree.
And I am personally I can't quite put into words how I feel about this. I'm very emotional.
You mean about specifically about the Twitter acquisition, right?
About the acquisition and what's been going on this week. But I will say I am very wary. I don't like it. And there are signs to show me that my favorite social media network is going to be like,
wait, Lamb Goat? He bought Lamb Goat too?
No, he didn't buy Lamb.
Oh,
but that Twitter is going to be might be a graveyard pretty soon. So there's a ton of stuff he did this week. So first of all, I think his worst feature is his shotgun management style. Well, and his like weird social interactions, but beyond that, but like his shotgun management style, like everything going on with the check marks this week. First, I remember on Monday at like 8 or 9 o'clock
PM or AM.
Wait, are you gonna do puppetry with your penis?
8 or 9 o'clock PM. A tech blog reported that he's going to open up verification for everyone for $20 a month, and that like everyone will have to pay, and verified users will have 90 days to join the program, or they would be losing their check marks. Now, for me, I always thought that the check mark thing was really overblown, and I say this as someone who desperately wanted a check mark. But
it would help you professionally. I understand.
Yes,
that.
yeah. Professional, but also
ego.
Like,
is it ego too?
Egotistically, sure. I'll be upfront about it. Yeah, it was kind of that as well.
I was trying to give you an out. You blew it.
But I mean, yes, logistically, there is a professional aspect to why I would want it, but there is also like a credibility aspect to it. But I feel in a way was the kind of inefficiency of the verification program. The whole reason for verification, it wasn't supposed to be its initial intention was not a status symbol. It was just because there were so many scammers going around saying they were like fucking, whoever, and like getting gullible fans who don't understand how the internet works to just send them money because they're pretending to be, Megan Fox or whatever.
Well, it was to prevent impersonation, which, to be fair, it does. And I am someone who thinks blue checks are on balance a negative thing, but I do think one of the good functions that they still do is they do prevent impersonation to this day. They have a lot of negative side effects, but I think they prevent impersonation. And if you remove them without replacing it with some other similar thing, there will be rampant impersonation again. In fact, people are already doing it. Like, people that have legitimate blue checks are doing it as a joke now to
protest
the removal of the blue checks, which is incredibly funny to me.
Yeah, like, so, there's been a lot of people that just changed their name. because you can change your display name and your profile photo all you want, and you'll keep your check mark. The only way you lose your check mark is if you change your handle, because your handle is what's verified to being you. But your display name, you could change it for the season or whatever. It's fun. It's whimsical. But it's also, when you're on a website of this scale, it could be abused. And so that's why I think like it's stupid. So his idea was like, oh, he only saw it as a status symbol. And which is such a small, like, I think who this will really affect is verified, scientists and doctors and like people like that, who you actually want to see that, oh, this is actually the person who they claim to be.
Or like the town hall of a small city or something, like,
right, exactly. Yeah, like they shouldn't have. I mean, they certainly have the $8 a month. It's not even about the payment. It's just that there should be a payment at all. And the way he's looking at it is just, I sank so much money into this fucking thing. He overpaid for Twitter was worth 25 billion and he paid 44 billion.
Right.
And the thing is, he took out loans against his other company, Tesla. So if Twitter starts tanking and doesn't make this money back, his loans are going to default, and his other companies are going to start tanking, and it's going to be he's created a very big problem for himself, and he's only making it worse, because so here's what happens. So going off into it, but so this is happening, but the way they're presenting the information is so bad because it's all through leaks, which I'm sure they would rather not have, but it's because nobody feels any loyalty to him because of his management style. So it comes out that it's going to be $20. Everyone's like, this is ridiculous. No one's going to pay for this. The next morning, somebody on the Twitter team puts out a poll. How much would you pay to be verified? And, like 95% of people said they weren't going to pay. But if you know anything about fucking startup culture, they're immediately throwing away those like, I will not pay results. Like, granted, that's not who they're marketing to. For the people that did pay, most people said they would pay somewhere between $5 and $10. So then he realized, oh, $20 is too much. And then an hour or two later, Stephen King, famed lib author Stephen King, tweets something like, you should be paying me, which I agree. Like that's the other thing. Verified accounts provide free content for Twitter for other users to interact with and create more content for them, more places to drop their shitty fucking ads. And like they're going to charge the people creating them content. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So Stephen King says you should be paying me, and then Elon Musk responds to Stephen King, how about $8? We have to pay the bills. We have to pay the bill somehow. Like, we're supposed to feel fucking sympathy for the world's richest man who made the world's worst business deal. Hey man, I got to make back my 44 billion somehow.
Right. Well, he's a buffoon, and this is a recurring theme I've seen with Elon Musk, is that he will often, when he makes his brain-dropping statements off the cuff in public, he will identify something that's a real problem that I can say, oh, I agree with you. That makes sense. And then he will have a solution that is incredibly fucking stupid and solves nothing. So that's what happened here.
80 other problems.
That's what happened here. I think there's a real problem with blue check marks. I think there are people now who have been anointed as a blue check, which is the blue check in this instance is serving in the capacity of this is someone you should trust. So like journalists, people in think tanks, stuff like that. And they use the prominence of the blue check to disseminate shitty information and warmongering and austerity, like, starving poor people to death and all that stuff. And then you go, oh, it's a blue check. So I think that's a valid thing. The solution, dummy, is not to make people just be able to buy one. That's making it worse. Now anybody can do the same thing that these horrible people are doing.
Now anyone can buy their way into the appearance of authenticity.
Right.
Well, look, we're gonna know. It's gonna launch, I believe, on Monday because that was the deadline he set for these programmers. Half of which he fucking
Yeah.
dipped out on. This was another thing that really, really bothered me. And I mean, like, look, I don't have any. Like, this has no bearing on me, like, personally or professionally. I just think it's really, really fucked up. Like, that he canned half the workforce, and the way he did it was in the shittiest, most impersonal way possible, which is they sent out an email like late Thursday. First of all, there's been rumors that he was going to cut all week. He hadn't talked to he barely talked to any of the staff. Most of the people on staff never talked to him. They get the most impersonal email Thursday night at 8 p.m. saying like total corporate speak of like, as you know, we have to reduce staff to like, become profitable. Like they give a fuck. And so here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, if you get an email at your twitter.com email address, that means you have your job. If you get an email at your personal account, that means you lost your job. And then it was like, if you haven't heard from us by 5 p.m. Pacific time, then you can email us, but don't contact us before that. So you basically had to wait the whole workday to be like, am I losing my job? Like, what's going on? And then not only that, at midnight Pacific, Twitter employees were reporting that they got hard logged out of their computers, of their like Twitter accounts, and just like kicked out before even getting the notice of being fired. That's how they found out they were fired. That their credentials just stopped working after midnight. It was like, it's just so heartless, Like these are human beings. These people, like, they didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? It's just because he decided that the company's too bloated.
Now, Rob, hard logged out is my favorite computer themed porn, by the way.
Also, I want to mention one other thing. The way how they decided who, like this, the other thing about this is I kind of wish there was another season of Silicon Valley because it could just be about this. All of this is essentially the HBO show Silicon Valley. So at first, to decide who they would fire, at first, all the managers gave directives that people had to start printing out code that they wrote to bring to these Tesla engineers that Musk brought in to review everyone's code, right? They
like,
basically took
for
over,
errors or
like to
for
see
what?
if you're up to snuff. But here's the thing. Do you understand how fucking dumb it is to have printouts of like commercially viable like this is important like
Proprietary.
proprietary, thank you, proprietary information, that's the word.
Yeah, I finally got to use that word correctly. It's a life goal achieved.
So maybe an hour or two after they sent this directive, they were like, please immediately shred all printed out code because, hey, we really shouldn't have this floating around. You can get in the wrong hands.
It's like the Three Stooges running a gigantic company.
So then they decided to rank all the engineers by lines of code that they have written. And the more lines of this is like
how
a totally
many engineers
thing.
do you have, like an estimated number of people that did this? Like,
well,
is it dozens? Is it hundreds? Is it thousands? Like,
they let go of 3,000 people.
Jeez.
So it had to be thousands or hundreds at least. So they ranked all the engineers by lines of code that they've written. But let me explain to you why this is so stupid. The whole point of writing clean code is to write as few lines as possible. Right. So if you're writing more lines, like, you could argue that person is a worse coder because it's more inefficient because it requires more code, more like going through each line to like get to the thing.
But you can't even argue that, because you can also say this person wrote good, tight, efficient code for 30 years or whatever. So really, it's just completely irrelevant, the amount of code. Like, either.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense
lines,
to do this at all.
The quantity is irrelevant to how efficient it is. Right. But that's how they were ranking it. So and the people with the least amount of written code, they were on the chopping block. And the thought process here from like engineers that I follow is like they don't realize how like they're punishing people who took a little longer to write more efficient code, and they don't realize that a lot of these people that they let go, they probably wrote the building blocks of Twitter that nobody else understands. So there's going to be a point where somebody like pulls a switch and like like the whole dominoes fall down and nobody will know how to fix it because nobody is there to know like how to fix these things. Because when you run a website this big, you're building on top of legacy software. You know, like you have to build, they're working on code from 15 years ago, but now they fired all the people that were there 15 years ago. So when they fuck this up, there will be no one to fix it.
What about Jack?
He got fired.
Well, Jack left actually, and he posted an apology today. And I swear, when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, cool! He's going to apologize for
anti-Semitism."
No,
Oh, that's a different.
He linked to a movie that.
Yeah.
Jack's going to apologize for encouraging Elon Musk to buy Twitter, but no, he apologized for growing the company too quickly.
Sorry, I did too good a job, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wrote so much debt that Musk had to chop everything.
I wrote a code that was too efficient.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll see. So
Jack
allegedly, this new verification system launches on. Oh, and beyond that, like the day after Musk took over, racist language on the site blew up. And to be fair, it's not like they I don't think they pulled a anti-racism filter or anything.
It's just people are excited that Elon Musk took over.
Yeah.
And they're racist.
And here's like they let go of most of their content moderation team.
Mm.
And
but I also think, do you think that some element of it is that like stupid people think that Elon Musk changed everything on the first day and now they're allowed to say the N-word?
For sure.
Yes, 100%.
And they're still not allowed.
For now.
Right. I mean, those accounts are getting suspended and eventually pulled, but it's just, I don't know, it's a mess. To get rid of your content moderation. I mean, the content moderation was something that needed improvement on Twitter. And
but not by cutting people.
But yeah, cutting people is not the way. And then all these advertisers pull out. And you know how I feel about pulling out.
Oh, no.
I don't actually.
Yeah.
I support it.
But I mean, it's not, there's no pregnancy threat. You can just have fun.
Sure. Oh, I mean, I support not pulling out as well.
Oh, you mean pulling it just in general for the general, not just yourself, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the method itself. I feel for hetero couples, it's probably a little unsafe. but
depends what you're pulling out of.
That's
good point. Good point.
Didn't mean to derail the topic. I was just curious.
But so
now this conversation would this be blocked on Twitter, or is this a conversation okay now?
Well, what's so funny is, Elon Musk talking about free speech. All these people impersonating Elon Musk got suspended.
Oh, really?
The same rules are in place.
Yeah. I mean, it is against the terms and conditions to impersonate somebody else. So,
Rob, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
How do you feel about hard logging out? Is that as a method?
I'm all about hard logging in, honestly.
just stay in there. Don't.
Yeah. Have it pulse in there a little bit. Let them really feel it. But I wanted to make mention of two more things on this because of how silly it is. I'm trying to find these tweets from Kara Swisher, who is a tech reporter. But okay, so now he's complaining about advertisers. He's saying because of like leftist activists, advertisers are pulling out. But really, advertisers are pulling out because they don't know what the fuck is going on, and they don't want their ads next to tweets that just have the N-word.
Reasonable.
Content moderation is very important for these advertisers. So he apparently like there were all these companies that do their upfront sales, and Twitter apparently didn't do any upfront sales because this convention was last month. They knew Musk was going to buy them, so they didn't even bother going to the upfronts to get commitments on ad sales for next year because they didn't even know what they could sell. They didn't know what the product was going to be, so they were already behind on that. Then Musk comes in, and all these advertisers are wary. Some start pausing their campaigns. He got on a call with like all the big advertisers. He got on a conference call with all their marketing officers, and he was like, "Oh, moderation is really, really important for us." And then that day, he cuts the entire moderation staff. So advertisers are like, "Hey, we're gonna pause because we don't know what's going on here. We don't want our ads next to hateful speech. It looks bad for our brand." It's not even I don't even like people say this is a political thing. It's not. It's a making money thing.
Of course.
They have realized it will affect their bottom line to have their ads next to this stuff, and they don't want it. And they're exercising their freedom of speech by doing that. And so after they see this, they pause, and Musk posts that tweet about how it's activists blocking these advertisers. And then one of the marketing guys on the phone call from earlier in the day starts tweeting him, it has nothing to do with leftist activists. It has to do with content moderation. We don't want exactly what I was just saying. And then Musk blocked that guy.
There's some content moderation for you right there.
Yeah.
Hands on.
He hard logged himself out of that conversation.
Dude, he didn't change the guy's handle to like pedo 1999 or something like that.
Don't give him any ideas.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna start doing that.
Well, then like some right-wing guy was like, you should call out these advertisers and we should go on a mass ban. And Musk's like, I might have to go thermonuclear on them, which he is just consistently doing the wrong thing, because if you're one of these advertisers and you get threatened like this, why would you want to work with this guy?
Yeah.
Well, in his mind, his pea brain, he's going to say, well, Twitter is such a powerful resource that they're going to be forced to advertise here. But I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
So, first of all,
I don't think it's effective for advertising. It's effective for marketing, but you have to do
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's just like, all right, we'll just put this budget towards more Instagram and Facebook ads instead.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Or TikTok, where it's actually, TikTok ads, I have to say, are really of the ones that even to skip through it, you have to watch like a second or two of it before you realize it's an ad. So it's absolutely the most effective.
Or can just go to Spitter or Chitter or whatever Jack designs, all these coders that they fired, whatever. It's going to be identical to Twitter and not related to Elon.
All these journalists are talking about Mastodon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, to be fair, I haven't used it since like Mastodon was this network when I think this was around either January 6th or maybe like in the November before January, like during one of those like right-wing kind of moments. Everyone was like, we got to get off Twitter. It's too wacky. Everyone get on Mastodon.
Okay.
Like the other, I mean, like liberal left. Yeah, like a reverse parlor. Like everyone got, and I remember I went, I'm like, this is awful. I'm not fucking, get out of here.
Is the band involved in any way or no? They should sue.
No.
Shouldn't they sue?
I agree.
They're
much better in quality than the social network.
Get Bran on the phone right now. Braun. Get Braun on the phone right now, and let's talk to him about this.
Braun Strowman, get him on the phone too.
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia right now.
I don't like Mastodon. He sounds like a Mastodon.
So yeah, but it's been good online gossip, online drama all week. A good time for posting if you're not Elon Musk, because there's been a lot of hilarity on Twitter as a result of what's going on. But
who do you think he eventually sells it to? In like 3 weeks.
Right. So I think that he's going to have to. He's going to realize how much work this is and just get bored, and not want. And I think the worst thing about this compared to like Tesla or SpaceX or any of his other companies that are just being carried by government subsidies is this is a far more public facing company, and he is more exposed as a buffoon than he's ever been in his life. I think more people see it like the emperor with no clothes right now, him being the emperor, the Elon with no clothes. Ugh. What a terrible visual. And that's kind of fun. I like that though.
Yeah.
That more people are seeing what a dipshit he is.
Is it worth it to sacrifice your favorite platform?
No, it's not worth it. I would rather not. I'm honestly very mad. I'm not very. It's putting things in relative terms here, but if there's anyone to blame for this, it's Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, because he was the one that pushed for this. They could have just went on their way and it would have been fine. Like they would have been doing what they were doing and they were making improvements. They were just going a little slowly. Like this year, they added a lot of cool things that I like. I like circles. I like that they have these little inner communities where you could only the people in the circle can see the tweets. And even if you reply, it's only in that circle. Good way to gossip amongst friends.
Isn't there also just like texting or like G-chat
Sure,
for that?
but on Twitter. But these are people I don't text with. That my whole interaction with them is just like, these are just like fellow wrestling fans who I would consider friends, but my whole relationship to them is on Twitter.
All right.
So
that's the thing. I use Twitter is unlike any other social network because it's so text based that I feel like there's nowhere else to have this kind of community. That's the real bummer about it. There's nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm gonna miss it.
It's well, honestly, at least for me, I have noticed, other than people complaining about Elon Musk being a dipshit, my Twitter experience is completely unchanged this week.
But it hasn't.
He didn't do anything yet.
Yeah.
He's just talking about what he's going to do.
I'll panic when I actually see negative change. So far, nothing has changed, so I'm just proceeding as if everything will be fine, and he'll be out of there before he does too much damage.
But also, there's two things. My first thing is that, you're going from one shitty master to the other. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it was run by wonderful people beforehand. And also, if something that disastrous does happen, there'll just be another Twitter. Like, it's just going to be a different name, but it'll be the same bullshit, Someone will...
It'll just be the annoyance of having to re-find all the people you followed on one and then find them on the next one. But once that's done, it's like, all right.
Yeah. You'll have 1 week where you got to gather all your contacts and then you're done. The same shit. It'll probably be better.
Yeah.
I hope.
And that's like worst case scenario. Best case scenario, nothing changes. Twitter stays being fine and he's gone and not owning it.
I think it's going to change. They canned half of their staff. It's going to change. This is an irreversible chemical change, as they say in the chemistry world.
But as long as they're not booting the people that I follow and the people that I follow don't delete their accounts, then
so far
I don't need the comments anyway.
But we'll see.
Huh?
So far there hasn't been too much of an exodus of people I enjoy that use the program.
So hope for the best.
But of course, you could follow us on Twitter.
Yeah,
we have good tweets. RIP Livecast, and you can hang out with us on the Twitter machine
or Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah,
we're on all.
And you could chat with us on Discord.
Yeah,
we're on there all the time. Come hang out. The invite link is at riplivecast.com.
We don't have a TikTok yet.
We don't have a TikTok. TikTok is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that hard. You actually have to put effort into it.
So you're saying we don't put effort into what we do?
Well, I don't know. You have to record yourself. I feel like that's way.
Are we not doing that as we speak?
Yes, but then we'd have to format this for TikTok. It's a vertical video format. This is a horizontal video.
So just flip us on our side, whatever.
Yeah, we're worth turning your phone around 90 degrees.
Sid's got it figured out.
Yeah, easy.
I've watched some TikTok. It doesn't look like it takes that much effort. Just saying.
Disagree.
I think it takes effort it would take effort to take our videos and turn them into TikTok videos. It doesn't take any effort to just record a TikTok with your phone.
So Darren, you are volunteering to launch our TikTok page.
No, I mean, if you'll all do it with me, sure. I'm not doing it.
Oh, well, it sounds like that would require our effort.
It would take 1/3 the effort for you to do it. So
don't push it on me. I'm saying it takes too much effort. I want all the effort to be in your court, buddy.
Nope. Just on principle. No, what I'm saying is a lot of people make very shitty TikToks, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and it's very certainly there's plenty of shitty TikToks that go viral, but in order to maintain an active, growing TikTok account, you have to actually put a lot of work into it. That's what I'm saying,
How do they
and
get
engage in the
music to
community.
play in their videos?
They just had you could just do it through TikTok. It's like they have licensing deals with
That's so funny.
just music streaming.
So it says, how do you do a TikTok? Well, you just do a TikTok.
What do you mean? What didn't I answer? There's a feature there. You could just pick music,
Right,
like
I
you
know,
do
but
a search.
your answer was literally you just do a TikTok.
Mhm.
Like,
Rob is offended. Rob has
like,
had enough.
what does the word chair mean? You know, a chair.
It's
But-
sit on a chair.
I just say you just do it. I didn't say TikTok in my answer. You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm gonna replay
Rewind
it.
the videotape.
You said you do it through TikTok.
Uh-huh.
I think what it is though is that they have like a Spotify system where like you say
Yes.
you search for it and it gives you a track, and that way
Yes.
it's licensed automatically, and you're using licensed music in your videos. That's why you can play all this stuff.
But also you can, if you edit the video outside of the TikTok system and you bring in an edited video, you can throw whatever audio you want in there. And like the copyright recognition is very flawed, so you can get away with whatever. It's not like on YouTube where it's instantly claimed by that artist or whatever.
That's all. It seems like it's a lot of work. You got to pre-edit stuff and then load it, and then you have to fill yourself over.
See? See?
I never said it wasn't.
No, I mean it's if you can do anything in an involved way, I think, but you can also do it. If you just want to have a TikTok account with some videos on it, it's not that hard.
I guess I just don't see your vision, Darren. So that's why when we start the Livecast TikTok, you should take the lead and do like the first.
You set the template, and then we could follow.
Yeah, exactly. Once we see like, oh, this is easy, then we could contribute.
How about this? I'll come up with a plan, and then the two of you can do the very easy plan that I implement.
So I love this, Darren. You're saying something is very easy to do, but then you're making us do it.
Well, you don't want to have a TikTok? Is that what you're saying, Rob? You're against TikTok?
No, I want you to show me the way. Show me the way, Darren.
I'll make one TikTok video to show you how easy it is, and then you two can also make them with me.
Okay.
Oh, you're against
but what
that
if your video? What if your video is way more viral than our videos? Then you
we won't know until you make.
You are better at TikTok than us.
What is your point in this? Why are you so angry that I said that it's not that hard to make a TikTok?
What? I'm not. Am I angry right now?
It seems like it. You're being very sarcastic towards me right now. I'm feeling hurt.
I am absolutely delighted because this is the most awkward conversation in Livecast history that didn't involve me. For once, I'm just the bystander.
Yeah.
Continue.
I don't know why. I just don't get it, Rob. What's your beef? What's your beef right now?
I don't have a beef. I just think that that creating TikToks is not easy, or perhaps more difficult than you might assume. And
I was partially joking.
Once you start,
I was partially joking. I was trying to say that there's a lot of shitty TikTok videos out there, but I also don't think it's as hard as you're making it out to be.
Is there a maximum time limit for TikTok videos?
No, some of them go on forever.
I believe they've increased it up to 10 minutes, but most of them are under a minute.
Because if we clipped this entire conversation and posted it on TikTok, I bet it would do well. If we started a TikTok and our only video was us arguing about starting a TikTok, I think that would be a winner.
You'd have to watch it with your phone turned.
That's fine. I think it's worth it. I think it could be the audio of this conversation with a picture of like cats fighting. And that would...
Our entire audience would be people with scoliosis because they would automatically they would see it right away.
I think that's a high percentage of our audience already.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's fine.
There you have it.
Also with TikTok, there's a big emphasis on captioning, which I think creates like twice as much work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would be a deal breaker.
Dusty said I'm a Vine guy. I'm not a Vine guy.
Well, good news. Elon Musk might be bringing back Vine. So.
What?
I never
Why?
liked Vine.
Is that just like because it's a word he remembers? So he's like, yeah.
Twitter owned Vine. That's why, but they
He's
can't.
bringing-
Owned or owns?
I mean, they still own it, but
Okay.
they
They're just not
close
doing
it.
anything with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to bring back literal vines, like trees with berries on them.
Oh, delicious. Oh, Periscope. Didn't we try to Periscope at some point?
Yeah, they still have. They just integrated Periscope into Twitter. It's just Twitter Live now.
Yeah. All right.
But
Yeah.
we would Periscope before going live.
Yes.
As a way to encourage people to listen.
Hey,
before
look
we
at
did
this
the video
clip of
feeds.
me and Rob and the rest of us just eating popcorn before
Mhm.
going live or opening a bag of chips.
It was such an innocent time.
It was.
Yeah, when people would meet in places and do things.
Yeah.
Isn't that why we traveled every day? I mean, every
Oh,
week,
once a
once a week,
week.
not every day. Yeah,
Traveling's a lot
once
of
a
work,
week.
Rob. I think you should lead the way and show us how
Yeah,
to do
pick
it.
us up.
I agree. It was a lot of work for me. It was like sometimes an hour commute on the way because it'd be rush hour. It'd be brutal.
When was it an hour commute? From where? From
When I lived in Williamsburg, and I had to get to
Oh yeah, fair. Okay.
Bay Ridge.
He's on a
Okay.
nickname basis with Williamsburg. It's Bill. He calls him
Billy
Bill.
Berg, Billy B. I went to Williamsburg recently, and I mean, I guess it's been 5 years since I've lived there, and it's so weird going to a neighborhood that you once knew so well, and then seeing how much it's changed, but then taking a step back and realizing, oh, it's been half a decade since I've been here, or more so. Like, I also went to Dumbo recently, and I used to work in Dumbo. I know these neighborhoods don't mean anything to anybody outside of New York, but it's just weird to see how insane that area has become too, and just a tourist trap.
So you missed the old Williamsburg and Dumbo? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
the funny thing is that Williamsburg, the Williamsburg you lived in at the time, was already the changing thing from something it was before.
Absolutely. But when I moved there were people who were leaving that were saying the exact same thing that I'm saying right now.
So what has changed since you left?
Well, actually, positively, there's a lot more places to eat that I would want to eat at. But there's also, I don't know, just weird bars that are overpriced.
You're like that song. You really are like that song. You're like, they're opening restaurants that are actually really good. I miss the old Williamsburg.
I don't miss the old Williamsburg. I think it's fine. I'm just saying it's just weird to be in a neighborhood that you used to know and realize it's not that anymore. I'm not saying it's bad.
You want to live in the new Williamsburg, but at the old Williamsburg prices. That's what.
Right. Well, you know what? That's a good point. Like, there was a moment where I was like, oh, when I want to move back, and then I'm like, no, can you imagine what rent is? And that's what it is. Thank you, Sid. You've made my point for me, which is that it's not worth that.
Yeah.
It's fun to visit.
Yeah.
And like experience it, but not. It would be too expensive to live.
But I mean, you're independently wealthy now, so you could probably afford to purchase some Williamsburg real estate.
I definitely cannot. I definitely cannot.
Like, not purchase it, but you could afford to live there at the
Bushwick.
I mean, I could afford to rent for like a few years, yes, but then I'd quickly have to get a job.
No.
We don't want that.
Just double up on your Notfest columns. That should be fine.
Exactly. I'd have to find more wrestling columns.
Just do a TikTok. It's not that.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be a TikTok celeb.
Yes, I agree with that. To be a TikTok celebrity requires a lot of work. To just have a series of videos, I was arguing, is not as labor intensive. Because I look at them and they're just like people farting into a camera or something. Like there's just nothing to it.
That's not all of them though. But like to be successful, you have to do more than fart in a camera.
I agree. I wasn't talking about. I was just saying. I was making.
We're
a
just
joke
talking about two different things.
Yeah, and you still got mad at me.
If you're the first person on TikTok to fart into the camera, you're probably a star. But subsequently, you need something else. You need to add something. Put a filter on your butthole, something, make it look like a Garfield's farting into a camera.
I mean, I showed you that video of that woman who just eats lo mein on the like she's just like a 60-year-old woman that just eats lo mein, like, and talks about her father beating her.
Sure,
Like,
yeah, of course. Those
but
are,
she's
and like those
viral.
get like, but most of those are not viral. Most of those got like 100 views. That's not viral. That's not viral.
Okay.
You gotta crack 10K to be viral.
No, her that
Jeez.
one, or you mean like
Yeah.
ones like that? Because hers are, I think.
No,
pretty-
her. She wasn't viral. She was mini viral. She was
Oh.
like micro viral. I would
Okay.
say.
All right. Fair enough.
Because you even said that you saw her TikToks in like a local Facebook page. It wasn't even through TikTok that you found.
No. Someone recommended it to me, like, who knows that I
Okay.
like stupid things.
But also, I have to say, what's so interesting about the TikTok algorithm is they will recommend these videos that nobody like. Because there's two feeds on TikTok. There's the algorithm feed where you just trust TikTok knows what you want to see. You can see what you want, and then if you don't like it, you swipe, see the next video. And then there's the feed of just the accounts that you follow. So it's arguably a more curated feed because it's ones that you'll already like. But in the algorithm feed, sometimes they'll show me videos and you could see how many views and likes the videos have. Oh, and these videos have like 5 likes and like 3 views.
Mhm.
So it's TikTok kind of testing virality on its user base. So it's very interesting that you will see videos that aren't viral and you decide if it, in a way, decide by how you react to it if it goes viral.
Mhm. Isn't that just what being viral is in any platform? Like, the more people like it and promote it, the more it goes around.
No, it's different because on YouTube, like the discovery is different. Because here the video is put in front of your face. You don't have a choice on if you watch it or not. You only have a choice if you continue watching. With YouTube, the only way to get a video is if it's in the related and the thumbnail is attractive enough that you click it. So it's a different way to attract a new audience.
So everybody sees everything, or there's some algorithm where you're presented with videos.
Wait,
TikTok, I mean.
No, I'm not saying TikTok. TikTok is very select. They'll just randomly show me a video, me one person. Not everyone is seeing this video with 4 likes, but I will watch this video, and I think what happens is if I watch the video to its entirety, if I like the video, if I comment on the video, then it will see that video to other like-minded people, and if they, if they like it as well, then it'll expand it. So it's more experimental, I think, than YouTube would never do that. YouTube would never recommend a video that has 5 views to me.
I see. I don't fully understand, but I think I got an idea.
Yeah, it's a totally different ecosystem, and I will say, like, it took me hanging out on TikTok for like a few months until I really got its kind of language, how it's different than the other networks.
You mean the language of how the coding works, or the language of how videos are presented? Like how
like how videos are presented.
The art form.
There's also the art form of it, and also how they how certain phrases get repeated or avoided to not be punished in the algorithm.
Like what?
Like,
what gets avoided?
Well, like white, like when you talk about white people in the captions, because the captions are, I guess, what they analyze. They won't write the word white, they write YT, which initially I was like, YouTube?
But I thought that's just a thing. That's like a known abbreviation for white people.
The first time I ever saw that was on TikTok before I saw it anywhere else.
I see that on black people's Twitter a lot. They just write white YT people as like a joke.
Yeah.
Not a joke.
It's definitely a black people Twitter thing for sure. Maybe that's just in their subculture.
Yeah,
that's
what I thought.
Twitter subculture, but
I didn't think they were trying. Maybe they are though, trying to avoid an algorithm or something.
But there's also like there's meme templates kind of on TikTok with certain songs that get reused, and it doesn't really work outside of the platform. Much like with TikTok out there, with Twitter, how there's specific meme formats.
Okay, still don't totally understand.
Titam, you can't say Nazi, so you say Nazi.
NOTSEE. If you're listening on audio or on TikTok, we put this up sideways. Yeah.
And it's good. What's in the youths go to TikTok for their news, which I didn't like. TikTok is a big search engine, which I haven't used it that way yet. But like when there's a big event, people will just go to TikTok, type in the keyword of the event, and then just watch TikToks about it, as opposed to like going to watch somebody explain a CNN article, as opposed to just going to read the CNN article.
You watch the woman explain it while eating lo mein and farting.
Yes.
That seems useful.
So the people, they went to, it's called the Capitol, and they broke some of the windows.
That's how Alex Skolnick learned about it. He wrote a whole song based on that TikTok.
Trump sucks, it's called.
Scully D's probably killing it on TikTok.
Has he done any new rap songs?
No, he hasn't. I haven't seen it.
Rob's on top of that. Trust me.
Yeah.
So since our interview with him, he has not done a single new rap song. Can we take responsibility for this / credit?
Oh, I hope so. That would be one of the crowning achievements of this program.
we shamed him out of his rap career.
We made him reflect on it. I don't want to say shamed. He realized correctly he was doing the wrong thing, making the world worse. And he's a good, overall, he's a good guy. He did one bad thing and he thought about it.
Does he have any Elon Musk takes this week on his Twitter?
Oh, he has to.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Elon Musk is just Trump 2.0. How could he not? You know what I mean? Like, he has to be mad about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is like the perfect storm for someone like Alex Skolnick to be angry about. Like, pee his pants about him.
I'm looking on his Twitter page.
Maybe he's banned. Maybe Alex Skolnick got banned because he said something bad about Elon Musk.
Okay, so I guess he's on tour in Europe. So he's obviously not as active, but he apparently tweeted a video that he captured in his hotel room of a German news report on the Twitter acquisition. But you can't really make out. It's in German, so you can't really.
Wait, so maybe that's a bad sign. Maybe he's just not making new Trump music because he's on tour.
He's surrounded by musicians that smack the Casio keyboard out of his hand.
Oh, what are you doing, bro?
Focus. And the second the tour is over, he's got like 3 notebooks filled with new bars.
Yo, you guys are gonna love this, man.
David DePepe sucks. Is that the guy's name?
The guy that attacked Paul Pelosi.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's his name?
I think it's DePape.
DePepe sounds more fun.
DePepe Godla.
Yeah, it's DePape.
I'm gonna hammer you with these dope ass rhymes. I read this story in the New York Times.
Oh my God. It's funny because it's true. But yeah, I bet that it'll come back when they're off tour. So I'm not ready to give us credit yet for extinguishing his hip hop career.
Yeah, maybe. And also I saw something where like Trump after election day he's going to be announcing his presidency, his candidacy.
Oh, just he's going to announce his presidency?
He's just president again.
He never stopped announcing that.
Yeah, I'm the president now. Deal with folks.
So is the song gonna be Trump still sucks or
yeah. Don't let Trump suck.
What?
Well, he's gonna take my idea because I thought his song was called Fuck Trump, and it was actually corrected me. So maybe now he'll record Fuck Trump.
Oh.
Well, I think he corrected you because he didn't want to be so explicit about it. He wanted to be tasteful.
But that was several
Which
months
to me,
ago.
like sucks is just as lewd, right?
And it includes like kind of like subtly homophobic too. I mean, you're saying Trump's bad because he gives fellatio to a man, right? That's what Trump sucks really means. That's how it originated.
Yeah. But I feel like now the word sucks is kind of morphed into just a general like most people are not implying this person is a blowjob queen.
I completely agree.
Which I want to say, if Trump gave a blowjob, it would probably be the worst blowjob ever.
Ugh.
Yes.
He would barely use lips. It'd be too much teeth.
It's very rude. Rude person using teeth. Very rude.
Wouldn't swallow. No
Oh.
way. Very
Just-
cumphobic. Just go, ew, not on my face.
Just kind of darting around the head. Never taking any shaft.
Barely any gag. It's just gross. Like, he's a little
Oh my
spit.
God.
Little spit. There's a little spit. All the people are saying it. It's terrible. Not enough spit. It's terrible. We like the spit, don't we, folks? We love the spit.
This is Trump's monologue at the AVN Awards when they get him to host it.
I
And
invented
don't forget
porn.
to cup the balls. Everyone forgets to cup the balls.
Christy Canyon. Great lady. Wonderful. Loved her.
He
Great.
hired Bobby Slayton to
Great.
co-write.
Great pendulous boobs.
Mm.
The great
Facts.
TT boy is here. TT boy.
TT, of course, stands for Trump.
How did Bobby Slayton get into that? What was the?
I just remember when I was like 12 and I had illegal cable. He hosted the AVN Awards when Playboy Channel had it.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And he was in his element. He was having the best time.
That's great. Trump
Oh,
should
Bobby
ho-
Slayton.
be the MC. Forget about he should just host the whole thing. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Natasha Nice, she was very rude to me. Very rude. Would
We're
not
having-
eat my ass. Very rude.
Oh,
Oh, that's why.
What?
All right. Welcome back to the AVN Awards, folks. Now it's time for our best lighting on an asshole. Listen, they can't all be best actress, okay? You got to follow all the crew, and they all deserve honor. Best lighting on a puckered asshole.
oh my
No, it's
God.
not my mouth.
Best revagination.
What?
What is that? Vagina rejuvenation. What's that?
Yeah, there's a pop term for that, like revagination. That's not quite right.
Revagination.
Is that quite? I'm not sure if I'm getting it
I don't
right.
know.
There is a word for that. I can't think of it right now.
Do you think Trump would go down on the lady? Do you think Trump does cunnilingus?
I don't think now. This is pure speculation. Clearly, I don't think he loves women. I think he likes sex. I don't think he likes women, and I don't think he particularly loves vaginas in a way that a man who loves women would love a vagina. So I think he looks at sex as purely two things: purely utilitarian to get a nut off, and power assertion. So I really doubt that he likes to eat pussy, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but I would guess no.
Same. I bet he used to do it in the 70s, 80s, but he probably hasn't done it in the last 25 years.
Right. He might have thought he had to do it when he needed to pursue women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now he doesn't. He can just he's a rich and we're talking about Trump. Let's say 20.
He's
years
famous.
ago.
He's
Right.
very famous, which is half the
Right.
battle.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I guess there's no anecdotes about him eating the vagine.
I just think to eat pussy, you have to really love to do it and be into it. You know what I mean? I just picture, if you're a straight man, picture giving a blowjob. It just doesn't appeal to you, so you don't do it. So if you're a straight man that happens to just not be into vaginas, there's some men are like that. I don't know. I guess there's a passion to it. You gotta really love to do it.
I mean, to do it well.
You don't got to tell me, boys. I got a passion for rimming.
you say to do it well, but my point is there are some men who do it at what we just discussed, out of an obligation,
Yeah.
or they think it'll get them in good with the woman, or maybe they really love their spouse or their partner. They're just not into that thing, but they'll make themselves do it. You know what I mean? But you got to be really into it to really want to do it.
Yeah.
Do you guys enjoy doing the cunnilingus?
I do, but I'm also very particular. It has to be,
Only on a leap year.
Yes. Did you read my journal?
So will you do it all year, but once every 4 years?
No,
Or like,
I'm a discerning connoisseur. That's all. Like I'm not, there's different kinds of vaginas. Has to be
oh, so like a sloppy pussy? You wouldn't need a sloppy pussy?
I have to be turned on. So to be clean, has to be
The pu-
aesthetically pleasing.
well, cleanliness, of course, like that's a given. I mean, but aesthetically pleasing. So you're saying some women have fuckable pussies, but not suckable pussies.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say there are all but well, I shouldn't say all. I would say most vaginas are utilitarian for utilitarian purposes. Great. They all you put your dick in and it feels great. But there are certain ones that are also very aesthetically beautiful. And that's what I would be attracted to.
But if the lights are off, you can't tell the difference.
Right. Okay. But I want my experience to be as, all as sensory as possible.
So if the lights are off, would you like take your cell phone and shine the flashlight just to get a
Well, I feel like
feel for the situation?
nah, I mean,
For
if
your
I know
surroundings?
what the vagina looks like, then I can do it with the lights off. If I've seen it. So it wouldn't really matter that much. Dusty asks, so do you like to get your ass eaten? I don't know. Do you mean all of us? Is that for the whole show to field, or me? Because I was
I
just
feel like we
talking.
must have talked about this numerous times, but
I
all right.
don't object to it, but it's not something I seek out. But if the person brings it to the table, I would not reject it.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yes,
Highly
it does.
recommended. I feel bad for straight dudes that are that are so homophobic that they wouldn't try to get their ass eaten because
Never
it is
that.
one of life's greatest pleasures. I'm not saying it's you guys. I'm just saying in general, like
It's not a thing I'm interested in.
check it out. It's fun. Take a nice thorough shower. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Well, I
Good.
think I guess I'm in the middle of on their opinion range here between the two of you. Rob loves it. Sid's not into it. I'm like, it does. I've had it done. Does feel good. Not something I seek out though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's something that happens too often to me, but yeah, why not? It feels good when it happens. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Again, if you're clean.
Well, why would it be anything to be ashamed of at all? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying Sid is saying this because it's a woman doing it. Like,
Yeah, she should be ashamed.
It's not. And the least shameful ass eating award goes to Natasha Nice.
Oh no!
I throw that out because Dusty mentioned her.
Yeah,
in the
no,
chat.
I don't
My
like
ass
the
is
comparison with
pristine. Got
Oh.
a big hole, nice and clean, nice and pink.
that. Big. I don't know if that's something to brag about.
Natasha
not a
couldn't
big
be here
hole.
today. Here's Rudolph W. Giuliani to accept this award.
Oh my god!
He just turns it into a Fox. Janine Pirro comes up.
Oh,
I love that. And now to accept biggest cum dump, here's Jesse Waters.
Oh, Jesse Waters.
who gets the award for biggest cum dump? Is it the dumper, the dumpee, the director?
I would
The
think
one, one getting the dump, the
That's
one
the one
getting
doing
dumped
all
on.
the work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone
the
could
recipient.
So it could be like a bukkake movie, and it's like 8 guys dumping, and it's not about how much per guy; it's about just the grand total.
I mean, I guess there's some credit should be given to the dumpers, but really, let's say the star of the show is the dumpy.
I think there should be a separate category for just the most from one person, just in sheer volume and mass, and maybe territory covered.
I just want to hear Trump's rambling every time there's an award.
He'd much rather be doing that than speaking at these generic political rallies. That's like his real dream. Like when he was doing that boxing pay-per-view that we talked about like 2 years ago.
Oh, it was so
That's
good.
what he really wants.
It was so bad it was good.
You know who was a great dumper? Dean Martin. Fantastic dumper. Come everywhere. Peter North level issue. Amazing. Everywhere.
Peter North really is an incredible cum dumper.
And not a drop spilled.
They called him Cream Martin.
Next award, come on up, Hugh Hewitt. Let's go. Come on. You got to get through all of these. Got to plow through them. Oh, no pun intended. He wouldn't even be aware of that.
Does he insist that Stormy Daniels is banned from the venue?
Banned.
Because it's
Lock
awkward?
the door.
Not a good person.
He yell at the security guards like in the rally. Get her out of here. Throw her out. And you remember when he yelled at the other rally attendees to like gang up on the black person that showed up? That's what he would do to Stormy Daniels at the AVN Awards.
You're right. Oh,
Mr. Marcus, you over there, TT boy, everybody gang up and throw Stormy out, please. These are my people.
Mr. Marcus would be his like porn version of Ben Carson.
Oh, that's a good one. I thought you were going to say Silk and Diamond.
Well, that would be like Nikki Hunter and I'm blanking. Clearly, I'm a racist porn watcher. Who's another? Huh?
Ebony A's. That was my
there you
80s black female porn star favorite.
Isis Nile, was that someone?
Oh yeah, sounds familiar. I wouldn't tell you what she looks like. I don't know. But I know Ebony A's was like my crush when I first discovered porn.
Isis Nile was. Oh, she's 53 years old now. Good for her.
Oh man, that's it. It seemed like forever ago that I heard that name.
Yeah.
Got a picture of Ebony A's that we can show. That's not. What does she look like now? She must be like 60 because she was around.
I don't know that I could find like a current picture.
She was around like in the 80s or mid 80s, so she's probably like 60 something.
I don't know if I'm finding
AYES. Wow, it's like not even any old. Oh, there we go. I found pictures of her from
they're
back
all
then.
Very explicit.
Oh, I found some without like, where she's clothed, but like sexily.
The guys in these pictures just look fucking hilarious. Oh, there's one with Peter North actually.
I tried doing it with Safe Search and I found. Here, let's see if I could set this.
The rest of the show is just us Googling 80s porn actors.
There we go.
And not sharing the pictures. Just
you can put this one up. This is clothed.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, she kind of okay.
Rob's about to say
I wasn't gonna do a comparison because then Sid would call me racist. So
That's right.
Stop.
You could say she looks like another black woman. That's not racist.
Here we go.
All right.
That's not a great picture of her. I just took one that was clothed, but she's making a weird face. She's very attractive.
Who are you going to say she looks like, Rob?
I was going to say she looks like she could be related to Robin Quivers.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
From the neck down? Like what? I don't see it in the face.
See it a little bit.
Because it's a black woman with big boobs?
Maybe
what you're saying right now, Sid, is why I didn't want to say it. And now you made me say it, and now you're giving me shit for it. That's why I didn't say
it. That's why I made you say it, because I wanted to give
you son of a bitch.
Well, like it would have been worse if you said like Kenan Thompson or something. Like that's
go back. Maybe that's
at least this is a woman, you know.
What?
Oh no!
Yeah, I can see if you get the right wig.
Oh jeez,
can make it work.
Steve Harvey.
Oh no! Rob, Photoshop a mustache onto this.
This is like the who would
maybe
know
Kim Wayans. Maybe she looks like a porn Kim Wayans from the Wayans family.
I could sort of maybe but thicker.
Yeah,
I see that one more than Robin Quivers.
Yes.
Ooh, Robin. So you at the AVNs with Trump. Ooh.
Oh, no.
No, that was Ebony A's, Howard. Oh, sorry, Robin.
I wonder if Ebony has been on the Howard Stern show.
Oh, good point. I hope she's alive. As soon as I saw her pictures, it took me back to that time. I was very infatuated with her.
Do you need to pause for a couple minutes, Darren?
No, I'm okay. It's more. It feels more. It feels more like sentimental than
Oh.
like I have a chub. You know.
If you did have one, would you tell us?
Yeah. Well, this is a very open and honest show. I don't know where you've been for the last 14 years. I can honestly attest and swear on a stack of Bibles. I do not have a chub at the moment. Fully
Should we make a rule that going forward, anytime one of us has a chub during the show, we have to announce it?
It might derail the show. We should have a buzzer.
Chubby buzzer.
That way we don't stop what we're talking about.
It should be a boing, boing, boing.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had one. I don't think I've ever had one during the show.
Never in 14 years, once. Like you didn't see a hot guy picture or something that we were showing.
Not even that one time I had to sit on your lap the whole show.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I could see a photo of a hot guy without getting a boner. I might get like intrigued, but I'm not hard.
What kind
Not
of
even
gay man are you? You don't even get the twitch of a boner. That's the start of a boner.
Just by looking at a photo.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be a very tantalizing photo. But
It's just weird that you don't like this is an alien concept to you. Like I'm not saying I get a boner at every single picture of a woman that's hot, but it happens sometimes. Never happens at all.
Not at a photo, no.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I will say like, oh, this is an attract. I will mentally be aroused, but physically,
You're a better man than I
not
am.
so much.
What about that time Odorous took his wiener out?
I think that was just sad, though.
I would say that was the opposite of a boner. That was a retracted.
Oh,
like
no.
my penis went in.
Oh wait, just because of his penis looked, or because he was all drunk and like stumbling on himself?
Just the whole presentation.
Yeah.
Rob's yodeling all of a sudden.
It wasn't because he had like a bad penis or anything, right?
No, it's a fucking penis. It's a fucking penis for sure. He was uncircumcised.
Oh, I'm glad I looked away.
R.I.P. a penis.
Yeah, I mean, and the rest of them also.
Yeah, I miss him.
You miss
Dude,
the old Odorous's penis.
It's really wild how many former show guests are dead now and died before their time.
Yeah. And I want to say, just by sheer math, it was going to happen. We've been on this show for 14 years. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
It's
still a lot.
I agree with you. Yes. Yeah. You know what it is? I don't know if it's a lot or it's not a lot, but it's weird to know somebody, talk to them at great length. And some of them you could consider in some way are friends, you know, and they're gone. Like, it's just like, I think the show has contributed to me having more near death experiences with people because of how long it's been going on.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Rob, didn't Black Dahlia Murder perform with their new singer this week? And I saw you tweeted about it.
It was, I believe, last Saturday. Yeah. It's their guitarist is their new singer. He moved, their founding guitarist.
Okay.
Moved on to vocals, and I'm happy to report he sounds great. It's a fitting tribute to Trevor, and it's, again, I absolutely understand why they want to keep going. And I fully support it. I saw it. It sounds authentic. It sounds, I mean, you can't, nothing will replace Trevor as a frontman and a presence. Can't really say that it's better or worse. It's obviously a different thing, but it's still good, I think, and it's still the Black Dahlia Murder, and the music sounds great, and they got their old guitarist to come back to play second guitar. So they're the two guys that they have playing guitar now are really, really good.
So nobody joined the band. He just slid into the vocal role and also plays the guitar. No,
they brought in an old guitarist to take over guitar duties, but he was a guy already in the band who was a great guitarist. So it's keeping it all in the family. So I think it's a very respectful way, I think, to continue the band. And I think they are all about that and all about paying tribute to Trevor. And I was too lazy to fly out to Detroit to see it but they're going to be playing Philly, I believe, next spring for the Decibel Metal and Beer Festival, and I will drive down to Philly to see them.
But there's no tour imminent. It's just like one-off shows for now.
Yeah, I believe it's just one-offs. I don't think they want to tour just yet.
But they're gonna like do new music and tour. They're gonna be like an active like band.
Yeah, this is their job. Like for all of them, like this is all they know.
Sure.
So they're going to keep going, and I support it.
Of course. It's not like one of the members fucking tried to have his wife killed. It just, tragedy happened. You're allowed to go on. I don't think anybody begrudges them. This is not a controversial decision on their part.
Yeah.
Darren, you muted.
Sorry. I was going to say, if you think about it, they're exactly the anti As I Lay Dying. Like they're together to pay tribute, and these guys are there because they're forced to be because they need money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think basically the whole band is no longer in the band, and like it's a whole new band now, except for the drummer, who Tim has said doesn't even talk to him.
It's so fucking weird.
Okay, so let's change it to Five Finger Death Punch then.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of music, let's talk about our Spotify picks. Every week we each pick a song and we throw it on a playlist we call the RAP Livecast Music Break. And you can check that out on Spotify. And this week I picked a song as promised last week. I picked a song from 808 State, who I've really been enjoying. Darren mentioned them on the show a few weeks ago, just as an electronic band that he would hear all the time mentioned when he worked in a record store. And whoever kept mentioning to you have really good taste because they're really, really good DJs. They have a surprising amount of songs with Bjork. They're really interesting.
Were they actually collaborated or just they remix her songs?
Well, it's kind of both. Because some I'm honestly not too familiar with Bjork, but now I kind of want to really dive into.
Oh, she's great.
But one of them was a remix of one of their songs where they just put her vocal lines on like one of their big songs, but she's on a few tracks. Yeah, I think they're regular collaborators, and they have this collaboration album with this one MC
Hammer.
No.
MC Light.
MC Skolnick.
Oh, no.
MC Tunes.
Oh, boy.
And it's kind of Beastie Boys-esque. I sent a track to Darren, and I said it's... there's one track that almost sounds like the same sample, like a sample that they would use on Paul's Boutique.
Oh.
You said Check Your Head at the time.
Oh, Check Your Head. I'm sorry. That's what I said. You're right. No. It was Check Your Head. And I looked it up and it wasn't.
No, but I hear what you were saying though, for sure.
But it's very much that same vibe, and it came out in 1990, so it's fun white boy rap. The North at its Heights is the album. MC Tunes and 808 State. So I really like 808 State. I picked basically their most famous song. It's a great intro to them. It's just a really chill instrumental track.
And Bjork is great. Bjork, if you had to describe, when I've had to describe Bjork to people, that are like into metal, I say she's like the female Serge Tankian with the wide vocal range. She can be very soft and sweet and beautiful and mellow, and then she can fucking scream. Like she could seriously do like hard thrash type vocals, but that's not the type of music she makes. But like she has the vocal quality where she can really have a raspy yell to her, and she's just really just loves experimental music and she's just amazing, and she's a great like a humanitarian, and she's a great actress. Like she's just she just never really pursued like being a huge, I think she could have been a huge Hollywood star if she wanted to. She just never really, she's comfortable doing her own thing, and she's just amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of respect.
I definitely want to, maybe next week I'll have a Bjork track on.
Yeah.
What did you pick, Darren?
I picked Ice-T and Slayer. collaborating on the song on the Judgment Night soundtrack of 1994, I want to say, called Disorder. Judgment Night was a movie, a very, very, very bad movie with Emilio Estevez, where a bunch of like white like party dudes all rented a van to go to a sporting event, I think a football game.
Yeah.
And they get trapped in a bad neighborhood and a bad neighborhood,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then they have to fight their way out of the bad neighborhoods. It's a very, very bad movie. I do not condone this movie at all. It's terrible. However, it has a really, really good soundtrack.
I feel like the soundtrack has long outlived the movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Everybody talks about the soundtrack. Nobody talks about the movie.
And they're all hybrids of hip hop bands and metal bands, or some of them are like hip hop metal, I would say. So I think who else is on that? If you could pull up the list for me.
They're like Biohazard
and
there, maybe
Biohazard with Onyx. Biohazard with Onyx.
I think Faith No More is on there.
Faith No More is Booyah Tribe and Faith No More.
Living Color, Run DMC.
Helmet, House of Pain.
Yeah. Oh, that Living Color and Run DMC track is really good too.
Cypress Hill and Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
Was that before or after the Simpsons episode that had both of them?
Don't know.
I mean, they were on Lollapalooza together, but even still.
Oh, it was 93. I thought it was 94. But anyway.
Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien, which I may have put on our playlist like way back.
So this is the Homer Palooza episode was in 96. It's probably recorded in 95, so it was after.
All right.
So this is a great soundtrack, and
I would say Dinosaur Jr. either. Are they
should.
worth getting?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Some of those tracks sound almost like the two bands. It's still good, but they're like the two bands are not reaching the full potential of a collaboration. But this Slayer and Ice-T song is just match made in heaven. Like it's their Slayer is basically Ice-T is the Slayer of hip hop, I would say. So it just works so great. It's just a great, like they're both screaming, and I don't know. It's just great. You have to check it out.
Sid, you also have a collab.
Yeah, my beloved Jeff Rosenstock put out a new EP with his frequent collaborator Laura Stevenson, where they do Neil Young covers. And they're actually touring, doing just a set of all Neil Young covers. I will not be going to that because I don't leave the apartment. But I picked their cover of Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. It's really fun. It's really good. Cool. Oh, and before I forget, RIP this week in honor of Twitter stands for Really Inefficient Platform.
And of course, I want to mention our Patreon. $5 gets you access to the Patreon, which has 2 new bonus episodes a month, and we have over 2 years now of great bonus episodes. We have watch-alongs of the first Very Bad Danzig movie, the Kiss Night at the Phantom or whatever, that their really shitty movie.
Kiss Barely a movie. The Phantom of the Park.
Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
When is the new fucking Danzig movie coming out? We've been waiting to do a watch-along of this shit for like a year and a half, and it's still not available. Yeah. What is the hold up?
This is just an occupational hazard of watching shitty movies, is that sometimes they don't get made.
Well, it got made. It exists.
They don't get released.
Right.
It's just not available for common street scum like us. Rob, you use your connections to get a bootleg. It's got to exist somewhere.
Well, we wouldn't be allowed to show it if it was
bootleg.
Well, we're not really allowed to show it anyway.
We also have a watch along of Kurt and Courtney that recently came along, which was great. Highly recommend watching that. Very fun. A documentary. This very awful British documentarian tries to make a documentary investigating if Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain, and he has nothing, and he has to stretch for an hour and a half, and it is an absolute joy to tear apart.
It legitimately, I say this with all seriousness, could be the worst documentary ever made. Ever.
Yes, especially watching it back when we did, like watching it with fresh eyes, you realize, wow,
yeah,
there's
just nothing there. It's almost impossible to pick a documentary topic about something where there's absolutely no material to make a documentary.
It was really just like, well, we spent this much money filming this shit. We got to put something out.
Yeah.
Editor, do your best, and
it's just laughing.
God bless the editor. He put something out.
It's
a lot of nothing into a something.
It's not really a badly, like, if you just forget what he's talking about and look at it as a piece of filmmaking, it's not a badly made
Yeah.
movie. There's
Yeah.
just no content to it
Yeah, yeah.
whatsoever.
But listen, he did a great job of like finding Seattle weirdos to talk to.
Yes, that's all it is. You can hang out in Seattle for 90 minutes and get the exact same experience.
Yeah. It's like the movie Slacker, but it's in Seattle and there's even less of a narrative.
Go
That's
watch
all.
our thing of it. Don't watch
All
the
of
movie.
that is on our Patreon.
Yeah.
$5 a month. And what do we do at the top of the month? I've already forgotten.
Another hypotheticals.
Yes. What were some of the hypotheticals that we answered? Do you remember?
It was if you could only have this feeling for the rest of your life, you'll feel this way forever, which would you pick? And it was having just done a hard day's work and laying in bed. What was the other two? Refresh my memory.
Chewing and
taking a
swallowing the
piss?
first mouthful of your favorite food after starving yourself for 48 straight hours.
Right. And Rob said taking a piss
Yeah.
after holding it in for a long time.
For 90 minutes.
So that we answer that and many other weird questions in our latest bonus episode. And in the middle of the month, we're going to be doing a review of the new Weird Al movie.
Yes.
So come hang out with us on our Patreon, patreon.com/RPLifecast, and we appreciate all the support. And if you want to throw in $5 more, you get to be a top Livecast fan, which gets you a shout out at the end of the show. That is this moment right here.
I want you to do this as if it was for a TikTok video that you want to go viral.
Eat some lo mein.
Do it, Rob.
Okay, here's my viral TikTok. Eric, Benjamin, Dan R, Sam I Am, Mindy Mayer Skippa, Jander, Shasur Sasusitz, Rabba Ganoush, aka Justin, Cattle Decaf, Rabba Vampiro, Hugo Likes Tacos, Lando Danks, LaCroix, Corey and Scotty H, Doug Pigman, Douglas, who are you, Levison? Hey guys, it's Josh. Hey!
See, I told you making a TikTok was easy.
Easy. You're right.
You just did it that way
Yeah,
so the captioning would be easier. Oh no!
Nipples.
And then I flashed my boobs.
That's his titties, baby.
That's our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday. Hope to see you there. And we love you. And we kiss you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.